Can I cancel my contract? Well, it depends. Hey guys, my name is Evangelista. I'm a real estate broker right here in the tri-state area of New York City. Here to answer all your questions, whether you're buying or selling real estate, I'm your guy. Buying a house can be scary, and because of that, you may have regrets. You may have found a home that you love. You may have found a home that you offered on and you got it and you're under contract and you're super excited, and then you get the jitters. You're like, oh God, what am I doing? This is a horrible mistake. I need to get out of this. What can I do? Help me. This happens a lot, unfortunately. So here's the deal. When you sign a contract, you are bound to the terms of the contract, and that is the key. What are the terms? I'm sure you've heard this ageless, wise old, whatever the phrase is. Read contracts. Read before you sign. And that holds true, especially when you're signing for one of the biggest purchases of your life. Before you sign a contract about to buy a home or sell, make sure that you understand what you're signing. In a real estate contract, there are some key terms that will dictate whether or not you can exit the agreement or not. Some of these terms relate to home inspections. They relate to mortgages. They relate to appraisals, and there may be other terms out there as well. You want to make sure that you understand what activities are allowed in terms of your obligations to a contract and what activities are not. In this video, we'll talk about just a few of the most basic ones. The first one is the home inspection. In the home inspection, this is the opportunity that you may have to exit a contract if after you do your home inspection, you find things that are just crazy, something that you do not want to deal with. As part of the home inspection, you're going to have a third party come through the home, and they're going to look through everything in terms of the mechanical components of the house, the roof, various systems, the flooring, the walls, electrical, everything. And you're going to get a very detailed report of the findings. I talk a lot about home inspections in one of my other videos, and please go check that out. As part of the home inspection report, you have a list of all the things that are good with the house and all that are not. And based on those things that are not good, you may have the opportunity to exit the agreement and get your money back, your initial deposit. Home inspections are key in making sure that you're buying a good asset, and that if you're not, that you can walk away and be protected. The next way you can get out of a contract when it comes to buying a house is through a mortgage, if you're getting one. If you're applying through a mortgage and you go through paperwork and everything's all good and dandy, but something happens, you lose a job, your credit drops, something unforeseen happens that changes your financial profile, changes your ability to borrow money, your mortgage will get denied. And because of that, you may be able to back out of the deal. Again, a lot of things can happen there, and this is something that I would encourage you to speak to your lender about or speak to your realtor about in terms of what things you need to do to avoid being disqualified. But should you be disqualified from a mortgage, and that was part of the terms that you had on your contract, you may be able to back out of the deal without losing your money. The third way to back out of a contract is through your appraisal. If part of your contract dictated that the home needs to appraise for a certain value and that home does not appraise for that value, it goes way below as an example, then that can be grounds for you backing out of the deal. Again, these three options vary and they need to be part of your contract, but that is why you need to be very careful in understanding your contract, ensuring that you understand the provisions within it and that you are educated in the sense of what needs to happen for those clauses to kick in. There's many other terms, many other conditions that can lead to a buyer being able to back out, but there are many that can prevent you from doing so. As an example, if you get into a contract and you decide that you no longer want to be buying the house because you don't like the paint color, you can't do that. You're already locked in. And if you were to do so, if you were to back out of a contract without a valid reason as per the terms of the agreement, then you will lose your money deposit. This can be a significant blow depending on how much money you put down. And like I mentioned, there can be a lot more than just these three clauses and provisions that can help a buyer exit an agreement. There can be less, there can be more. It just depends on what you agree to in writing. One of the things that I want to just make sure that we all understand in terms of our buyer community is that we are all people. And if something happens, have a conversation. Just be upfront about it. You'd be surprised in how many instances just having a conversation with a client, a seller, and just letting them know what you're going through, how many instances we've been able to exit a deal just because we let the buyer or seller know that something happened and we wanted to back out. The key to canceling a contract is just to understand what are your options. Not having options or options may not be clear to you, then speak to your attorney. Lastly, If nothing seems to be working out, speak to your agent. They can negotiate a deal with the seller to let you exit. This may not sound possible, or it may sound far-fetched, but it happens. Making a contract is coming to agreements on terms that both parties find fair. So as long as you're being fair, as long as you're following the rules of the agreement, then you're okay. It's when you don't follow the rules, when you try to be sneaky, that you get in trouble. So before you sign the contract, make sure that you understand the terms of the contract. If you have to exit the contract, make sure that you are doing so in accordance with the terms of that contract. And if you cannot, for whatever reason, speak to your agents, speak to your attorney to see what other deals, what other opinions, what other ways, creative ways they can come up with to help you in whatever situation you're going through. So not too sexy, crazy stuff, but it is what it is. And that's it, guys. If you have any particular questions about how do I get out of a contract, how do I do X, Y, and Z, whether it's a contract to buy a house, whether it's a contract for a lease for an apartment, it's all the same. It's just reading the contract. It's just reading the terms. I'm not a lawyer, but I've seen a lot of these, so happy to provide you my opinion. But again, not a lawyer. If you have any legal questions, speak to your attorney. If you have any questions that you think I can help answer, put them in the comments below. And that's it, guys. If you found value in this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, see you all soon.